Okay, I have no idea what these bees are doing today. This hive swarmed a little while ago, just like they did 2 or 3 days ago. They went up way up in the top of this oak tree, about 40 foot up, right in there, clustered up for a while. Now they're coming back down, going back in the box. So it's just a weird thing they're doing. I had one box, this one over here that swarmed on me, and it went way up in that top of the tree at the same spot, and then all of a sudden they started back down, and I was looking around, and on the ground the queen was on the ground in front of the hive right down there. So I put her in a cage, and I've transferred her over to that box there, and they finally released her from the cage, and she's still in there. This other hive, see if I can focus, get this in here. Okay, this hive swarmed and went up in this little pear tree right here, about 5 foot off the ground. I built up stacked up some little swarm boxes, put one of the boxes up there, and they started marching right into the box. Had comb in it, and I put some brood in it. So they went into that box, and they are over there on that end, and I put them in a bigger box this morning. So, but this one hive has swarmed twice. Did not have a camera till here recently, and I borrowed this one, and I hope it's working well enough to show this. But this box here that has swarmed, and then the bees are coming back into it. I have no idea what's wrong with them, why they would swarm and then come back down. Let me see if we can get this camera up to where they were or are. They may not even be up there anymore completely. They're gone completely. Okay, they've already moved back down into the box. So if anyone has had any experience with bees like this, let me know what the problem is here. They've got plenty of room, so they don't have any problem in room. So, but anyway, these bees that I have now are really from the weavers in Navasota, and I don't think I will ever buy another bee from the weavers. I'm not telling you not to. It's just that I've had a bad experience with them. One of the queens that I brought in, I went out to check her about 3 days later to see if she had got released from the cage. All of a sudden she popped out the front, had a red dot on her head, and took off and never came back. One of the other weaver bees that had a red dot on her head, they replaced her within a month. They had got rid of her and made some some queen cells and replaced her. And she had been in there laying real good, I thought. And the same thing happened with 2 of the other weaver bees. They replaced them real quick. And on top of that, these bees are all from the weaver stock, and they have really got extremely aggressive at times. They're not too bad that I can't work with them, but they're extremely aggressive. So sometimes I can get this close, which I'm about 20 foot from them, and I'll have 10 or 15 of them fly out and attack me. So anyway, I just kind of ignore them and start walking off, and sometimes I get stung 3 or 4 times before I get away from here, and then next time I may not get stung at all, but they still very aggressive. And if one stings me, then that really sets a bunch of them off, so they come out real hot and heavy. But I had to split up one hive. You notice I've got it setting at number 3 position here, and just got it set on a little fiberglass box temporarily right now. So these bees are just acting weird. There is no swarm up in the tree now. They come back and went back into that same box, just like they did a couple of days ago. So I think they're wanting to swarm, but somehow the queen doesn't make it. And I looked on the ground at this time, and I never found no queen. So I guess the queen has, you know, just didn't make it up there. She probably went someplace else. That is what is bad about these bees I've got from Weaver. They just, you know, just don't make good sense. Okay, let's go out and check our other quail house. I'm going to put this on pause for a moment. Okay, I have 2 pheasants that my grandson gave me for Christmas. They're ringneck pheasants, a male and a female. He is really pretty and got a big long tail. Her tail has been growing. She started laying in January. I got 6 of her eggs, put them in the incubator. She's only been laying about 6 a week. She skips a day somehow. I put 6 more in there while the others were in the incubator. The first 6 did not hatch at all, or didn't even try to develop. The second 6, only 1 developed and hatched out of the second 6. So I checked the eggs after I pulled them out of the incubator, and they all appear to be fertile. But I think they got too cold in January before I could get to the eggs. The next few eggs I put in there, I got 5 chicks to hatch out of these 2. But these are real pretty. They still a little skittish. He gets real upset sometimes if you make any sudden movements while you're in the pen with him. Especially if I go in and get the water jug to water him. He really gets upset, and he'll fly up and grab onto the side of the wire. So let's go look out at their offspring. But he's a very pretty bird. Okay, this is my temporary pen for my pheasants, and it's hatched out. I've got 5 more in the house in a box, in a brooder box, and I got 21 more of her eggs in the incubator. But she's, I think she's just about quit laying her I mean, she's through with her laying cycle. But I've got 12 of the pheasants out here that was hatched from the pair of pheasants I have, and they're growing real well. They're looking good. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to build a big fly pen for them to put them in. But I have to keep a close eye on these pheasants. They say they do get cannibalistic sometimes, so I really have to watch them real close. You'll notice that one of my quail got loose in the pen. She's over there by herself at this point in time, but they're not bothering her and she's not bothering them, so I'll let her stay there for a while and I'll move her. But boy, these little pheasants, they are fast. And they can fly just like a bird. Of course, they are a bird. See if we can get a close-up of this one. I'm not capable of telling whether a rooster or a hen at this point. I have to wait until they get a little older, maybe another 10, 11 weeks old. Then they'll be showing their true colors. So anyway, I've got 5 more I'm going to put out in this pen in about another 2 weeks. And they just hatched out about 2 or 3 days ago. My wife put a little mirror in there for them to look at themselves at times. See if we can get a little bit closer here. They're still a little skittish. They get a little rowdy when I come into the pen. I guess it's just their nature. But they're not too bad right now. They're getting a little bit tamer every day. Okay, and this is the smallest one I've got in this pen. And this is the escape artist. Every time I open the door, he heads for the door. Or she, he or she. Where you at? Okay, he's disappeared on me again. There he is. But that is the escape artist. He or she tries to get to the door every time I open it. And he or she has got out a couple of times, but I was able to catch them and put them back in there, in the pen. So they got a good sized pen here. And like I say, I hope to be able to build them a nice fly pen this summer to put them in. Okay, that'll be this weekly update. I hope to have a camera soon. Hadn't been able to afford to get one yet, but maybe I can borrow this camera again if it turns out fine. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.